everyone to my channel. Uh, Starting a whole new farm here on Pacific Northwest 19 as farm manager. Got the game paused right now. I just started, and I'm gonna go in here and change a few settings to the way that I like to play the game. First off, on the time scale, they've got 5 times. I'm gonna put that on real time. I'm gonna leave economic difficulty on easy. I like to turn the traffic off. I like to turn the dirt off. Automatic engine start, I like to turn that off. Stop and go braking, that's okay. Uh, Fuel usage, I put that on low. These are all okay. Turn the plant growth off right now. Plant withering, I'm going to put that on off. Crop destruction off. Periodic plowing off. Lime required off. Weeds off. Auto save, I like to save it whenever I want to save it, so I'm going to turn that off. And now I'm going to start playing the game. As you can see, I got $1,250,000 to play with, but I don't have any property, I don't have any vehicles, I don't have anything except for that money. And here you can borrow money. I'm gonna go ahead and borrow as much as I can. That puts me up to 1.5 million. That's all I've got to work with. So I've got to come up with a way to make money, and I've got to have land and equipment and such as that and all. So the way I usually like to start out on a farm, I like to start out making silage bales and build my equipment up, build my money and my equipment up from there, and then branch out into regular farming. So we're gonna do that. We need a tractor, and by the way, I'm broadcasting on a PS4, so it's not like I'm playing on a PC to where I have access to unlimited mods, but I do have some mods that we're fortunate enough to have on console, and I really like this one. This is a Massey Ferguson 7700S. See how pretty that is? I really like that. Can kind of make this look really good. I'm going to put the Michelins on there because I like to have wide tires and weights because I just think that's cool. Of course, got an option here for anniversary edition. Of course, you gotta have that. And I'm gonna go with the most horsepower we can get because we're gonna need it eventually. Front loader attacher, We'll put yes on that because we're going to need a front loader sooner or later. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this. Yes. We got to have that. We got to have a seeder to plant grass with. I like this one because it does fertilizer and seed, and the horsepower that we got on the tractor was 280. This requires 270, so we're right at the limit of what we can pull, but it can pull it, so we're going to get this. So we'll go ahead and get this. We need a baler. I like to do square bales because they're just so much easier than messing with round bales, to me. And I like to do this is a mod, but if you got a PS4, you should be able to get this mod no problem. I really like this trailer. It's a auto load, and I like the auto load.
Go lay down.
I apologize for my dogs barking. If you watch any of my videos at all, of course this is just the second one I've done, but I'm sure there'll be more to come. If you watch any of them at all, my dogs are always here, Peanut and Sissy, so we love them. Put a skid plate and wings on there. Auto load, yes. Decal, that's on the back. I'm gonna make that white just so you can see it a little better. I ain't gonna mess with the wheel, so I'm gonna buy that. Alright. Alright, we got a tractor, a seeder, we got a trailer, we need a baler. And I got a Massey Ferguson tractor, so I might as well get a Massey Ferguson baler. Excuse me. Had a little bit of a cold here lately. I do apologize for that. Alright, we got a tractor, a seeder, a trailer, a baler. We need a wrapper. I like this, well, I like this coon wrapper right here. It does square bales or round bales, which we'll be doing square bales, so it'll work just fine for what we need. And I know it's a lot of money, but we need a mower, and I'm gonna get this one because it's just so much easier than and so much quicker than any other thing in the game, so I'm gonna get it. That leaves us with $599,450. And we gotta buy. Let's get out and look at this for a minute. Alright, we got a tractor. We got a seeder. We got a trailer. We got a baler. We got a wrapper. And we got a mower. That should be everything we need. I'm gonna put a weight on the front of that tractor too. And this is a pretty cool mod. I like this. This is a safety weight. Kind of try to make it match the tractor a little bit. That looks pretty good. We'll put that on there. There it is. And we gotta have some land, so we got $596,000 to work with. And eventually I'd like to get to doing some stuff at the biogas plant. So I want to buy land close to it. I'd like to buy field 32, but I don't have enough money yet. So I'm going to get field 31, I apologize for that. I can afford it. And it comes with a, you can see it comes with a little area right there that you can put some of your stuff and whatever, little extra stuff there. So we're going to get that. So we're going to buy that. We got $132,000 left. I thought I turned that off. Automatic engine start. I don't want that. I like to have that turned off to where I can start the engine myself. Pick that up. Man, that's a good looking tractor. Alright, I need to buy some seed and fertilizer to go in this seeder. And I usually don't run the seeder myself. I usually let the workers do it because they do a lot better job than I can do. And I let them buy the seed as they're using it, so I don't have to all the time be running back and forth buying seed. But I'll go ahead and fill it up anyway, because sometimes you have to do some of the planting yourself. The workers can't do it all always. Alright, that's got it full of seed. Now I'm going to do the fertilizer. You notice I'm only buying these one at a time, but the reason I'm doing that is so that I don't have to move around a bunch just to fill this thing up. Alright, looks like that's full. The cover's shut. Alright, let's go don't put it on grass here. Go plant some grass. And you can jump this little curb right here. It won't hurt a thing. Watch out for that guy. And if you watched my first video, which was just a test video, my wife had informed me that the machine sound was a lot louder than my talking, so I'm going to ask her right now how that is. Is that any better? Are you watching this, babe? It is? Yeah, she said it was better, so that's a good thing. And this is our field right here, field 31. It's got, I think it's got weed or something like that planted on it already, but we don't have a harvester, so we ain't gonna worry about that. We're just gonna plant right over it. And one thing I like about this seeder is it fertilizes, and I'm hiring a worker, by the way. It fertilizes as it's putting down seeds, so you've got one stage of fertilization right away, and you've only got to worry about one more stage, because in this game, Farming Simulator 19, you only have to do 2 stages of fertilization, so that's pretty neat. And we're gonna need something to do the second stage of fertilization, so I'm gonna get something. I like this little Kuhn fertilizer right here. It throws out solid fertilizer, and it don't cost a whole lot, and that's what I'm going to use, so I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Need to bring some of this stuff over there. I don't know if this thing will bring it or not. I'll bring that. I'll bring that. but it will bring this. Watch out, lady. She walked right through me. And like I said in the last video, if you watched any of it, I really love this map. This is gorgeous map. And this thing turns quick. If you saw my first video, it was an established farm on this same map that I started a couple of weeks ago. And I had done it as new farmer, so this one is actually started out as farm manager, and I've been playing this game ever since it came out, and to be honest with you, this is the first time I've played it on farm manager. So not only am I streaming for the first time, but I'm also doing something that I haven't done before as far as the way I play the game. When I say I am playing as farm manager and not new farmer, I've always played it on new farmer, so be interesting to see how that goes. Cut this off. While that thing is planting, we'll just take a look at the map, ride the train around, ride around here a little bit, and look at how beautiful this map is. It's supposed to be based in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, and this is one of the sell points right here. This is Agro Wholesales. Whoever made this map was very talented. I'll give them that. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. That's the dairy station right there. Oh, that last sale point we passed was Timberline Flour Mill. Look how pretty that is coming off of that hill right there. Like I said, I think it's just a gorgeous map. This is just a port silo where you can store grain and put it on the train to take it to different sell points. There's the pipe right there that the grain comes out of and goes into the cars. Of course, you have to select the car and then hit open the cover, and then it gives you the option to start filling, which we're not going to do that right now because we don't have any grain in there. Checking on this guy. Looks like he's got about half of it done. That tractor is dirty, and I could have swore I turned the dirt off, but maybe I didn't. I put it on slow. Well, rookie mistake. I'll tell you something else we're going to need is workshop to repair our stuff. How much money we got left? We got $103,000. We should be able to get that. Put it right there. I'm gonna get the pressure washer. Since my vehicle's dirty, I didn't mean to have to do that, but since it's dirty, I'm gonna go ahead and put it right there. And I'm gonna get this fuel tank. I was trying to see if I could find the jet in the sky, because there's a jet that flies overhead and it's pretty cool. I heard it, but I didn't see it. There it is. That was my youngest son, Clark, that just asked me if I was doing 2 videos in one night.
Hey man, I have to get your channel too.
And the answer is yes. But the first video was just like a test video anyway. And I don't want to make these videos too long, so I'm going to cut them off pretty short. I don't know exactly how much longer I'm going to go with this one, but I don't want to make them too long. One thing I like about this game is you can play it pretty much any way you want to play it. I mean, if you want to do most of the work yourself, you can, or if you want to hire the workers and let them do it, you can. Me personally, I like to hire the workers because most of the time they do a good job, as long as you got square fields. That's one thing I like about this map, is it's got quite a few squared off fields. When you get into some of the other maps with the irregular shaped fields or whatever, the workers don't do so hot. And we don't have a GPS mod for the console, so that kind of keeps us from using the workers on those type of fields. I mean, you can use them, but the results may not be to your liking. I'll just put it that way. I guess while this thing is planting this, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Rodney Stigall. I live in Mississippi, and I really got hooked on Farming Simulator a few months ago. My son bought a Xbox 360, and he bought Farming Simulator 15 for my wife for a real low price, and she got to playing it and I got to watching her, and I kind of took it away from her, and just kind of took over and got hooked on it. And from there it went to Farming Simulator 17, and I played it for a couple of months until 19 came out. And when 19 came out, I bought it a couple of days after it came out, but I didn't have a PS4, and I was always having to play it on my oldest son's system, and every time I wanted to play it, it seemed like he wanted to play his system, so I had that to deal with. So I eventually ended up buying my own PS4, which, don't get me wrong, I used to play games a lot when I was a kid, but I had just about got out of gaming altogether, to be honest with you, until I started playing this, and kind of got me back into it. I didn't actually think I'd ever own a PS4 of my own. Both of my sons have one, but as far as me having one myself, I never thought I'd actually have one, but here I am. And now, since I've been playing this on the 4, my ultimate goal is to get a gaming PC and play this game on it, because I know that you have more mods, and you don't have to worry about slots, and it's just a lot more you can do with it if you're on the PC. I mean, don't get me wrong, the console is fun and it's good, but there's just a lot more you can do with the PC, and I realize that. One good thing about planting grass and doing silage bales is the fact that once you plant it, you don't have to plant it again. You just grow it and mow it. So if we had to, which I probably won't, which I'll eventually get rid of this seeder anyway, because the ultimate goal is to get big equipment to buy all these fields around here and make big money. But just like in life, real life, on this game you have to start out small and work your way up. So it takes a little while to start really bringing in the money. I don't know how long they've had this mod of this tractor on the PC, but it just came out on the console a week or two ago, and I think it's awesome. I got quite a few different colors you can paint this thing, and I like that bright metallic red or whatever that is. I think it looks really good. Jet again. At least I heard it. I don't see it. But it was out there somewhere. And I mentioned this in my first video, and I'm going to go ahead and say it again. My PlayStation ID is Formulator75, and I don't take credit for coming up with Formulator. The first time I heard that was on one of Arthur Chapman's YouTube broadcasts, and as far as I know, he came up with it, so I don't know if he's got a copyright on it or whatever, but I ain't trying to make nothing off of it. I just thought it was a cool name, and love playing Farming Simulator. So when I got my new PlayStation, I made me a PlayStation ID, and that's just what I used because I thought it was cool. So if Arthur thinks if somebody tells Arthur that I'm trying to take something away from him, I'm not. I'm just that's just my PlayStation ID. I'm not trying to make anything off of that, so I want to be clear about that up front. We're just about through seeding this field. and I've got the plant growth turned off. Usually what I do, once I get a few fields bought and paid for, I'll usually get them all planted with the plant growth turned off, and then after I get it all planted, I'll turn it back on, and that way that way all your plants come in at the same time, and you don't have different size plants over here as opposed to small ones over here, bigger ones over there, stuff like that. So we only got one field right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn the plant growth on fast. Fold this up and go over here and wash this off, wash the tractor and the seeder, and repair them both, because even though I only use this stuff a little bit, man, it mechanically it breaks down quick, so you gotta have a repair shop to repair this stuff. Just a little bit of wear, but we'll go ahead and repair it. I like to keep everything in good shape, because you don't want wore out stuff. I'm gonna wash this off. I haven't used this thing in so long I forgot how to use it. I usually just keep the dirt turned off and don't worry about washing the stuff. And you don't have to move around with this thing. You just point it at it and shoot, and it cleans it. You don't have to get real technical with it. See, just point it at the tractor and you'll see the dirt come off the tires. So we got that clean. Point it at the bumper. Alright. Bring this over here. Drop that. I want to repair the tractor. It don't have much wear on it, but I want to go ahead and repair it anyway. And we won't worry about repairing the bumper right now. It don't affect that much anyway. So what I'm gonna do now is go get the rest of that stuff and bring it over here. Go ahead and turn that air on, Clark. I should have left the bumper over there. I could have, which I can do that next time. I can leave the bumper over there and come back and get that wrapper and that fertilizer distributor. With I can pull the wrapper behind and leave the take the bumper off and put the fertilizer distributor on the front just to get it over there. I'll go ahead and unfold the baler. And this baler's a mod, but like I said, if you got a PS4, you should be able to get all these mods. This is a Massey Ferguson baler. I chose it for one reason: it's cheaper than the rest of them, and it makes just as good a bale as the other high-priced ones do. And not to mention, I got a Massey Ferguson tractor, so why not have a Massey Ferguson baler? And as you can notice, I'm driving around the fields. I don't like to drive on them, even though it doesn't hurt anything. I just some things I don't mind doing, and some things I do, and that's just kind of the way I like to play the game. I don't like to drive over the field, so I just don't. So I'm going to leave the baler right here. I'm going to drop this bumper right here. And I'm going to go get the wrapper and the fertilizer distributor. I mean, I love playing this game. It's a real good game. But there are a few bugs in it that I found that they haven't got ironed out yet. And they've come out with quite a few updates, but they still haven't got all the bugs worked out. I'm not sure about the baler bug, whether they've got it fixed yet or not, but sometimes you can go to start baling hay, and it'll just the tractor and the baler will just disappear and end up somewhere else, totally off the totally somewhere else on the map, and usually stuck in the ground somewhere. So that's kind of crazy. That's one of the major bugs that they I don't know if they've got that corrected yet or not, because but I know they didn't have it corrected before they came out with that last update. So I don't know. I found a workaround for it. You have to what I usually do is make sure my baler is doesn't have anything in it, you know, it's sitting on 0, and I get ready to bale and all that, get everything done, get my tractor and my baler in position, and I'll save the game, and then I'll quit the game, and then start over, from that same save file. And doing it that way, I haven't had any issues as far as losing the baler or the tractor. I've actually, on one game, I actually lost the tractor and the baler and couldn't get it back, and that's like the particular tractor I lost and the baler, that was three or four, maybe $500,000 I lost right there. So I wasn't too happy about that. Well, I messed up. I meant to get fertilizer and put fertilizer in this distributor, so I got to go back over there anyway. I tell you what, I'm really good at making mistakes today. I thought I was doing good by bringing two things at one time, and got to go back over there anyway because I forgot fertilizer. Which, with the way I've got it set, I could hire a worker and you know, use it without fertilizer in it, but I don't know, I just like to have fertilizer in it. Sometimes you have to use it yourself and get what the workers don't get, because that sometimes they don't get it all. Alright, we're gonna get fertilizer. Shouldn't take but 3 or 4 bags. And it's not completely full, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave it at that because it's almost full, and it ain't gotta be full, completely full anyway, because I'm gonna let the worker do it as it stands anyway. So we won't be using any, or we won't be using much, if any at all. Now I've already got the first stage of fertilization down. It was put down with the seeder when the seed was put in the ground, so I'll actually have to speed up time and get the grass to actually start growing, to come, you know, first stage of plant growth or whatever, get the grass to actually come out of the ground before I can put the second layer of fertilizer down. So that's what we're going to do now. We'll pull up here. And I'm going to speed up time. Shouldn't take too long for it to come out. If you can hear me drinking, I'm drinking a little bit of coffee, so I do apologize for that, but I have to keep hydrated while I'm talking, or I won't be able to talk. That's a pretty decent sized field. I mean, it's not the biggest in the world, but it's pretty decent. I'm curious to see how many square bales of hay we get off of it. Well, we're not making hay, we're making silage, but whatever, you know. When I think of bales, I think of hay bales, so. But we're actually making silage bales. And the reason we're making the silage bales and not hay bales or straw bales is because silage bales bring the most money. And that's pretty much the name of the game in Farming Simulator, is make as much money as you can. So we're just waiting. It usually takes a little while when you first plant grass. It takes a little while for it to first come up because when you cut it, it shows on the map that it's harvested, and you still got a little bit of grass there, and there it finally comes. So I'm gonna put time back on real time, and if you'll look on the map, field 31, it shows no crop, but that's because grass, if you notice that, you got to look on the right side of the screen. You have to, where it says fruit types, you have to scroll down to grass, and you actually have to click on it with X to highlight it, and you'll notice that that it turned green and the field turned green. Uh, so you can do that with all the fruit types. You can turn them on or turn them off. Grass is always turned off when you first start playing the game, so you have to turn it on if you plant a field of grass, just to see what the growth or whatever of it. And it shows that it's in the first stage of growth right now. So I usually will turn it on, and then when I get done looking at it, I'll turn it back off, because it changes the color of the map when you go to the growth. You notice how that's the background is gray around the fields or whatever on growth. If I go back to fruit types and put that on grass again, and then go back to growth, you'll see how the background of the map has changed to orange. So that is something that I don't really care for. So I just keep it turned off unless I'm looking at it for to see what stage it's in or whatever. So anyway, we're gonna hire a worker here and get this field fertilized. Well, I'll take that back. We don't have to fertilize it because it says it needs plowing, but we're not going to worry about that. It's already up to the second stage of fertilization, because it had that wheat planted on it before, and when we plowed that under, it gave us a stage of fertilization. And and then we planted. When we planted, we also added another stage of fertilization, so we don't have to fertilize this go around. So I'm gonna speed up time again and let that grow. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. I don't need it right now. And pick up the baler, because the next thing I'm going to use the tractor for is baling. Alright, it's starting to get dark, and I don't have a house, and I'm not planning on buying one right now, because I really don't have the money. But I'm thinking there's a mod in here that you can buy, that you can sleep. All it is a chair, but you can sleep in it. But I don't know where it's at. I know it's not in there. I know there's a mod that's a chair you can sleep in, but maybe I didn't download it and I just thought I did, but I thought I did. I guess I didn't. Oh well. Just have to speed up time and let it go that way. When you're making silage bales, uh, and you're baling, of course you want the grass to be in a windrow, and if you'll notice it says selected work mode widespreading. It says that up there in the help menu. I want to change that to swath dropping, and if you'll click on R1, you'll see right there where it says match L3 to toggle work mode. So I'm going to change it to swath dropping. You can change it to left swath, right swath, widespreading, which is like a normal mower would do. Swath dropping just drops a windrow right in the middle, which is what we want. So that's what we're going to leave it on. I'm going to cut this thing off and get out. Turn my flashlight on. Let this grow. And this grass will be ready to harvest. It'll say ready to harvest, but it won't be completely mature to start with. When it's first ready to harvest, I like to let it go one more stage to where it actually starts putting out a seed head, because you get more you get a lot more quantity of or yield, get a lot more yield of grass if you let it go to the second stage of being ready to harvest. And I'll show you what that looks like on the map whenever it gets ready. So we've got the time going just as fast as it'll go right now. And see, it says ready to harvest right now, but if you'll look on the map, and I'll show you, I'm going to go back down to fruit types and click on grass so I can turn that on, and look at growth. That's yellow. What I want to do is wait until that turns orange, which is the color. It'll be the same color as the background of the map whenever it gets ready to cut. You could cut it right now, but you wouldn't get near as much off of it as what you're going to get if you let it go that one more stage. So at least that's been my finding on what I've done and what I've played it. You just get a lot more off of it. So, and you can actually tell, we're watching it right now, but you can actually tell when it changes. If you watch it, you'll see a difference in it. And if you're not sure if it's changed or not, you can always go back to your map and look at it and make sure, see, it's still yellow. So what we want to do is wait till it gets orange. And it's getting daylight, so I'm going to turn the flashlight off. And we're still waiting, but it just like in real farming, sometimes you gotta have patience. Uh, Takes a little while, but it's worth it. I promise you, it's best to wait until it gets to that last stage. Still yellow. And it shouldn't be too much longer. And there you go. You can see, I'm gonna see it turned orange. I'm gonna stop time, put it back on real time, and there went the last little bit of yellow. It's all orange. So now I'm gonna turn the grass back off because I just don't like the way it looks on my map. But you can see how much thicker that is and how much taller. And like I said, the grass puts on a seed head, which that won't hurt anything at all, making silage out of it. So we're good to go. So we're going to jump in this thing and start mowing. And hire a worker, and off they go. And I'm going to try to start baling without restarting the game, and hopefully my tractor and my baler don't disappear. I've heard that's only a problem on the consoles, that they don't have that problem on PC, but I'm not sure about that. Somebody watches this and knows anything about that, if they'd like to leave a comment, that'd be great. And I'm going to let him go a couple of rounds, and then I'm going to start baling. And You can see how fast this thing mows, though. It's just, I know it costs $380,000, but it's worth it to me because it just, I mean, it saves you time because you don't have to have a mower, and then you have to have a rake or a windrower. And if you're making hay, well, we're not making hay, but you got to have a mower and a windrower to do what this thing is doing, and this thing just does it so much quicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tractor and the baler and try to start baling this. Hopefully we don't lose our tractor and baler. And I'm gonna start down on the other end because he started right here, but see how that's long right there? You got a long row and a short row. I like to start on the other end because it works out right like that. If you start on the end he started on, you'll end up down here coming to the end of the row, and then you got to it just works out better doing it this way. Especially, it ain't really that big of a deal on a field like this, but if you're in tight places, it really makes a difference. So here we go. Cross our fingers that we don't disappear. And the bale's coming out the back, so we're good. We're not going to disappear because if we were, it would have done disappeared already. And I do the baling. I do the baling myself because you can't hire a worker. Which even if you could, I'd probably do this myself anyway. Looks like I missed a good bit. And I apologize for that. I missed a good bit, but I gotta get used to this, to playing this thing on this screen. When I'm broadcasting, my screen's a lot smaller. I mean, I have a 55-inch TV, but it does make a difference playing it on a smaller screen. We're just baling away. And the reason I do square bales is because I hate round bales. I can't stand having to stop and unload the baler. I mean, it costs a good bit more to make square bales in the beginning because you have to buy your equipment, and you have to have a bigger tractor and stuff like that. But to me, it's worth it if you can make it happen, because the round bales are just a pain in the butt trying to bale them when you have to stop and open the baler and then start off again. I mean, with the square bales, you just go. I mean, you just run through it and go. And also, I like to do cows and horses a lot of times on my farms, and I like to use the square bales for feeding the animals, because they stack a lot easier than round bales, and all around they're just a lot easier to deal with, in my opinion. I don't know what's going on, but I'm missing a lot of hay, or missing a lot of grass. And it could be this baler, but it's probably just me trying to get used to playing it on this smaller screen. And I could be just a little bit nervous too. Broadcasting on YouTube, it's something new to me, and you know, most of the time when I'm playing the game, not when I'm not broadcasting or whatever, I just kind of kick back and relax or whatever and play it, and don't really have these little mental mistakes that I've been making, and that's what I'm trying to do while I'm broadcasting. But it's just relax and play it like I normally would, but it's just a little bit different, I will say that. Playing the game while you're broadcasting is just a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I'm sure that will get easier in time. Looks like we're going to get quite a few bales off of this field, so hopefully we can make some pretty good money. The ultimate goal, like I said before, is to buy all these fields around here, and believe me, there's some big fields around here, and they cost a good bit of money. But we want to make regular crops like soybeans and wheat and barley and canola and corn and stuff like that. We want to do all that, but first we got to build some capital, and one of the best ways to build capital in this game that I've found is by making silage bales. You can make pretty good money. But there and yet, I've only played it on New Farmer, so I don't know how the prices are going to be on Farm Manager, so that remains to be seen. I did set the economic difficulty to easy, so hopefully hopefully that'll help. I don't really play this game to try to get a big challenge out of it, which it is challenging at times, don't get me wrong, but I just play it because it's a lot of fun to see what you can do uh, as far as making money and raising crops, raising the animals. You know, it's just a lot of fun to play, in my opinion. It's a good pastime, I'll put it that way. And he hadn't even finished cutting this field yet. This is a bigger field than it looks like it is. So hopefully we're gonna make some money. Like I said, I've never played this game in farm manager mode before, so this is kind of new to me. So, but I have found in the past when I played it on New Farmer that making silage bales usually yields you more dollars per acre than just about any other crop you can plant. Sometimes now, once you get on up there and establish yourself, make a good bit of money. I'm talking about a lot of money. You can plant cotton and again, like I said, this is all when I speak of my experiences. I'm talking about playing it in New Farmer mode, so don't quote me to this because I haven't played it on the Farm Manager. So this is just this is all new to me. So kind of learning as I go here. I mean, I know what I've done in the past as far as playing it before. It should work about the same, but like I said, I don't know about how the pricing's gonna go, so that's the only thing I'm really concerned about is how much are we actually gonna get out of the what we sell. And I remember on Farming Simulator 17, playing it on easy, you could really make some money making silage bales. I mean, you could rack up some cash, but it they kind of put a cap on that for this game. You can still make good money at it, but it's not near as lucrative as it was on that game. And I remember making silage in the biogas plant on Farming Simulator 15, and you could really make some money selling silage at the biogas plant on Farming Simulator 15, and you can on this game too, but it's not near as much as it was on that game. So that's one thing Giants has done as they've progressed in these games, is kind of put a cap on some of the stuff that you can really rack up on. And I guess, I guess that's kind of a good thing. You don't want to cheat to make it, in which, to me, it's not cheating if you're doing something that the game allows. I don't want to cheat on anything if I can help it. But a lot of people don't see it that way. They think, well, that's too far-fetched. That's just like cheating. But to me, if the game allows it, I don't see anything wrong with it. And like I said before, it's just a game, It's just, we're not really actually dependent on making a real living off of this. So when we get up and put our boots on tomorrow morning, we don't have to have this game on our mind to make it through our normal day or whatever. So this is all, to me, this is all just for fun. And that's the way I like to play the game, is I like to have fun with it. So I don't take it too seriously. I just play it, and a lot of the stuff that the game will do, I'll let it do for me, like hiring the workers or whatever. I like to play it like that. Some people don't, but I do. So that's just the way I like to do it. I just play the game to have fun, and that's the reason I'm making a YouTube video. It's just to have fun. I think it's kind of neat to be able to put something on the internet that everybody else has a chance to look at and experience with you what you've done. So I'm not doing this for to try to be something that I'm not or whatever. It's just, I'm just doing this to try to have fun. So that's all. That's all. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the only reason I'm doing it. It's just to have fun, but it's just, but that is probably the main reason. Just to have fun and, maybe somebody else that enjoys playing the game, they may learn something. So if I help somebody learn something, that's I think that'd be a good thing. Look out across there. That's quite a few bales. We'll check in a minute when we get done and see how many we've got. And by the way, you can only make up to 200 before the game says you've got to sell some. If you have 200 bales made, then you've got to sell some, because it won't let you make any more than that at one time. Missing material. I was looking over at the gauge, and I wasn't paying attention. Now, the baler has some material still in it, and I missed a bunch. I know I did. I'm gonna turn it off and unload this. I usually don't miss that much, and I don't know if it's because of the smaller screen or what, but it just made a real sloppy job out of it. I do know that. But I'm going to try to pick up some of this that I missed. And at the same time, I'm going to try to finish this bale out that's in here. The bale that's started. And get it back to 0. You have to, the bad thing about these console balers, square balers, is like I said, they'll sometimes when you first start baling, they'll disappear on you, and that's a bug that Giants hasn't fixed yet, as far as I know. Yeah, I missed a lot more material than I normally do. But I normally don't use this baler either, and it may not be quite as wide as some of the ones that I've been using. So that could be a factor in it too. And I do apologize, but I'm going to have to pause it right here for a minute and take a restroom break. So I'll be right back. sorry about that. I've just about got the baler full of making that last bale. I'm not really concerned about picking up every little bit that I missed. I'll pick it up. I'll get it all picked up eventually, one way or another. I mainly just want to get this baler zeroed back out. And it's kind of hard to stop it exactly on zero. But I'm fixing to go over if I ain't careful, so just gonna kind of inch along right here. And try to get it on exactly zero. And if I miss it, if I go over, I won't be surprised, because it's hard to stop it on exactly zero. And I mean, you don't have to do this. You can reset the baler from the map. You can go to the map and reset the baler to the shop to get it zeroed out. I just hate doing that, so I try to do it this way. I'm on 39.81. I'm almost there. You have to just barely inch along or you'll go over 39.84. Zero. Alright, now I'm going to turn off the baler, lift the pickup, and then unload this bale. So I got it on zero. That's a good thing. And I'm going to stop right there. There's still a lot of material left out here that I didn't get, but I ain't going to worry about it right now. It'll be okay. I want to look and see how many bales we got. 109 bales. That's not too bad off of one field. And we're at $52,000 right now. I want to get all this sold and see what we end up with. Of course, we got to wrap it, so that's going to take a little while. I'm going to stop the video right now and well, first I'm going to show you what it looks like wrapping a bale. I'm sure most people already know, but for people that don't know, I'm going to wrap one just so they can see it. You have to unfold the wrapper, and you'll notice you can make the foil any color you want it, and mine's like a lavender color, almost pink. I know that's kind of girly, but and I'm not really a girly kind of guy. I just kind of, I don't know, I just think that kind of looks kind of good on a bale doing it that color, but that's just me. I think you can do green, black, pink, or white. I like to do this. Just kind of one of them things I do, so don't hold it against me. But that's all you do. You just pull up to it and it picks it up. It wraps it. And when it gets done, you just hit mash L1, and then triangle for unload square bale, and go on to the next one. So I'm going to stop the video right here. I'm going to get all these wrapped, and when I get all these wrapped and everything, we'll start a new video, and we'll load them up and start selling them and see what we get off of them. So we'll come back to it. So goodbye for now. If anybody watches this and likes it, if they would, appreciate it if you give me a like. Subscribe to this channel, that would be nice. And if you really like our broadcast and want to know when we're streaming, you can always hit that bell down there, and it'll notify you when we're streaming. So anyway, thanks for watching my channel, and see you next time on Farming Simulator 19. Goodbye.